It's Tuesday, March 3rd, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. The abrupt closure of Chaps Restaurants Limited has left 149 workers contemplating their next move. The company, which operates restaurants Chin Chin by the Sea, Primo Bar and a Bistro, as well as Hugo's Barbados, shut its doors yesterday, taking workers by surprise. Among them, one man who started working with the company just a week ago, and another who was expected to begin work yesterday after leaving their former jobs.
I started last week officially. I would have, as a waiter, I would have resigned from my previous job. Life demanded it, a lot of responsibilities. I'm the only, well, I was the only employed person in my household. And a few people in the household haven't worked for a couple years, so it's challenging.
To be quite honest, a little disappointed, angry. Yeah, a little disappointed, but I pissed. To be honest, I pissed. You know, 25. You know, I got other things that I gotta do.
Employees vented their frustration yesterday while attending a meeting at the company's Canewood St. Michael offices. However, they are still uncertain about when and how severance will be paid. Tourism Minister Kerry Simmons, who met with a representative of the owner, along with Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs Marsha Cadell, said the development caught government by surprise, but he was hopeful that efforts would be made to minimize the dislocation caused as a result.
This development obviously has taken us at the level of government by surprise. Under ordinary circumstances, one would have anticipated that there would be some sort of prior expression of concern. But that notwithstanding, we believe that there are certain steps that can be taken going forward that may allow for the dislocation to be mitigated. I do not know the full extent of it because we've only had one conversation, but there has been a conversation, and obviously the owner is not in the island right now, so we have to see how far that goes.
In other news this Tuesday, authorities at the island's Juvenile Correctional Center are battling a rat infestation that last week resulted in the closure of one of the control rooms at the female section in St. Lucie. Principal of the Government Industrial School, Owen Leacock, told Barbados Today an environmental health inspector has visited the facility, which is occupied by 13 girls. He also revealed that management has been setting bait and using other measures to get rid of the rodents.
We baited, and that seemed to have, controlled the problem at an acceptable level. Right. We also, which we will do a heavier baiting on the outskirts. Mm-hmm. Okay? But as I indicated to you, we can't do the traditional baiting because of our population to have any rat bait exposed or anything. So we don't do that kind of thing on the inside. So that will be done on the outer boundaries. And this is something that we do all the time. Because one of the areas of concern was the access might come through the windows. The windows didn't have any mesh. As you would appreciate, you can't use the fly mesh, right? So the project unit, their officers, the maintenance officer, he visited. I think he visited on 2 occasions this week, and he is getting a quotation to get the mesh fabricated.
Barbados is bracing for some impact in its agricultural sector due to the coronavirus. Word of this from Agriculture Minister Inda Ware, who revealed that plans to increase the island's production scale may be hampered as a result of the outbreak. The minister was speaking to reporters on the sidelines of a regional meeting for agricultural ministers held at UN House yesterday. However, Ware said his focus at this time was on local food security.
Be impacted by what is happening in China, but it certainly can impede our progress in getting production up to the extent that we can export. And so therefore, we may be a little fortunate at this point in time, but for long-term planning or mid-term planning, yes, it will it will certainly impede what we can do in terms of scale for export. Right now, I'm focused on food security in Barbados. I'm focused on how we can get back to the production levels of 2006 that have declined massively over the last 10 years. And our focus now is on growing those 4 to 6 weeks crops, like lettuce and tomatoes and sweet peppers, etc., that have declined. And then moving agriculture to the stage where we have more greenhouses in Barbados.
Despite another year of expected low yields, one of this island's main private sugarcane farmers is optimistic that there is room for improvement in the sector. In fact, Director of Barbados Farms Limited, Edward Clark, is predicting that farmers should see efficiency improvements in their operations as a result of a new measure that was implemented for this year's sugar harvest.
The government, BAMC, and the ministry made a very good decision. We had asked about the bins because it was on a pilot project. It was on one of the farms, and it worked very well. So they've brought in these bins to work with us, and some of the farms are buying new equipment to use with the bins because they have to have certain horsepower tractors and things to work with these bins and so on. So you'll see some new equipment, you'll see some new operations going on. So we are hopeful that the efficiency side of the operations will improve quite a bit, but a lot of the impact that you're seeing on this year's harvest is the poor rainfall. It is being very devastating to the farmers. We are continuing. All the farmers are still willing to make a go of it, and you're just at God's grace now, and hopefully that we get some rainfall this year, and the crop next year will be better.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Regionally, experts are trying to find out what caused the helicopter crash that led to the death of 4 Defense Force officers at the Gales Point Lagoon in Belize over the weekend, and officials have assured that they will leave no stone unturned in getting answers. We get more in this report from News 5.
So what caused this aircraft to crash into the lagoon? At this time, the ministry says that they don't know, but they're not ruling out any possibilities. What we know is that the helicopter is of about $1 million in value. It was not, however, equipped with night vision capabilities. What we also know is that on board were decorated soldiers of the BDF's Air Wing. There are several theories floating around about what may have brought down the chopper. One of those speculations is that the narco-traffickers may have had a hand in it. It is a very sinister theory and may seem like a stretch, but the ministry reports that there's no evidence of that at this point.
The helicopters aren't equipped with night vision. However, the pilots do conduct night flying, especially along the coast.
Absolutely no evidence at this point to indicate that the aircraft was brought down or shot down or anything to that effect. However, as we said before, there will be a full-fledged investigation that would consider everything. No stone will be left unturned.
And finally, the world is in uncharted territory when it comes to the coronavirus or COVID-19 outbreak. So says Chief of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus. However, while describing the virus as unique, he believes it could be contained with the right measures.
In the last 24 hours, there were almost 9 times more cases reported outside China than inside China. The epidemics in the Republic of Korea, Italy, Iran, and Japan are our greatest concern. This virus is not influenza. We are in uncharted territory. We have never seen before a respiratory pathogen that's capable of community transmission, but at the same time, which can also be contained with the right measures. But containment of COVID-19 is feasible and must remain the top priority for all countries.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.